Hello, first and second graders at Ocean View. Today I have a really fun art project for you. We're going to do some Amate drawing. And Amate drawing just means we're going to draw on some brown paper. Back in a long time ago in Mexico, people made Amate drawings on what is called paper made from tree bark. They would get tree bark and make it all nice and flat, and then they would make paintings and drawings on it. And it looked kind of neat because they would make neat designs, and it was on this darker background. So we're going to do our own version of that today. To make your Amate drawing, you will need a piece of brown paper, which you should have gotten from your teacher, a box of oil pastels, and you'll need a black marker. So here's what you do. The first thing you do is find your black markers. I'm opening up my markers, and the black one was right on the end. Now, in the middle of your brown piece of paper, draw something round, and I'm going to say I like to draw the sun. I'll show you some of my finished Amate drawings. Here's one where I drew the sun, and you can see that I drew different animals and birds and things all around. This one I drew the sun and the moon, but if it's hard to draw the sun or the sun and the moon, maybe you would like to draw something else that kind of could go around, like a flower. But I'm going to just start by drawing a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to put some rays around it so that I've got the sun here. There we go. Now, you can either draw animals all around here, or you can draw animals and flowers and hearts and different things. And I'm going to start by making some animals going around. Let's see. I'm looking at what animals I did last time. Well, I like to make wild animals. I'm going to start by making an elephant. So if I draw, I'm going to start with this trunk there. I don't want to really touch anything else, so I don't want to touch the sun. I want to leave some space in between. Elephants are pretty fat. I'm going to put a nice fat body. And I'm going to give them, whoop, let's put this on top. I'm going to give them 4 fat legs. There are his toes. There's another leg. And then I'll put a tail on him. And you could just keep going around. Now there's, let's see, what else could I put on here? Well, how about if I put, I'm going to put a giraffe on here, because I kind of like giraffes. They're fun to draw because they're so tall. With a big tall neck. And they have very long, skinny legs. And they have 2 long legs in the back. I'm not going to draw the whole thing because it'll take me too long. But I'm just trying to show you some things about this. Give it a tail. And let's give it its mane. And of course it would have some spots on it, right? And we'll know it's a giraffe when it has these spots, which later on we can color in. Okay, there's some space in between these. And in that space, I could draw a leaf, or I could draw a flower, but I don't want it to touch any other thing I've drawn. You want a little bit of space in between. So notice that now if I draw on this side, I have to turn my paper around. I'm going to put a heart here. Hearts are pretty easy to draw and they don't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to say, well, what could I have here? Well, let's have looks like I have room for a cat here. If I give it a long tail, there's its tail and its body. And I give it its head here. And a little nose. Well, it doesn't look too much like a cap. It's kind of good. Let's make it running. I'm going to make its feet flying out in the back like that. It's going to run. And then we'll make its front paws going forward like that. Oh, my cat is kind of funny looking. Oh, well. There it is. I can put some stripes on my cat. Maybe that'll make it look more like a cat. And I will continue going around. Don't worry about this outer edge. Oops. Let's see here. And just think of as many animals as you want to. Now, if you feel like it's too hard to draw these animals and you don't know how, you could pick just one thing that you do know how to draw. For example, I think for me, fish are kind of easy, and here's why. For a fish, you just have to make kind of an oval shape. You could make kind of a triangular tail. Put a fin on the top, put a fin on the bottom, and make a big circle for the eye. And you can give it some design if you want to. And you can make lots of fish. You could make all one kind of animal or different kinds, whatever works for you. And then for spaces in between, you can fill them up with flowers or hearts or leaves or some kind of design. And then I could turn my paper this way and draw here, and then turn my paper this way and draw here. But I'm not drawing all the way to the edge, because at the very end, I want to come and put a fence around them. Remember our lots of letters where we put a fence around at the end of all our letters? Well, I want to put a fence around all of these animals and designs also. And if hopefully I'll have some room. I got pretty close there by the draft, but that's okay. I'm going to make it kind of a thicker fence with an uneven line. It can be a little wavy, because I think an uneven line can be kind of interesting. So at the end, I'm going to give it a fence that comes all around the end like that. And I will have drawn all in here. Then, you're done with your black marker. You can open up your oil pastels. Mine had some. These are new pastels. Pastels are a lot like crayons, but they're a little bit greasier or oilier. And they make very nice bright colors. So, let's try not to use too much white on our animals or designs, because we're going to save the white to draw in between them. I'm going to color in my sun here. And you'll be able to draw very quickly. It's not hard to draw on the brown paper with the oil pastels, and it fills in really fast and really bright, which is wonderful, because it doesn't take too long to color in all of your designs with the oil pastels. And try to do the best you can with coloring. And when you finish coloring each and every one of the animals, it might look something like this. And you can either leave the brown paper and then just color in your border, Or if you want to, you could do like I did on this one and color in a white background and make them all really stand out. That's up to you. The hardest part is drawing the white, so you have to kind of like go in between everything else with your white and not quite touch it. Almost, but not quite go up to everything. Leave a little bit of brown around the edges. Not quite touch those things that you've colored, but just go close, but you don't have to touch them. Oops, too close, so well. And you'll color it in like that. Let's color in our... You don't have to go all the way to the edges. You can stay inside and not quite finish it because the brown paper helps you. It's okay if it's not colored up to the edge. And when you finish, you'll have a very colorful Amate drawing like one of these. And I just want to show you, if you feel like it's really, really hard for you to draw so many animals and things, then pick just a few things. Remember I said something in the center that's round. Okay, let's do the sun again. The suns are pretty easy. But instead of putting all those animals, I'm going to put hearts and flowers. So I can draw big hearts, and I can draw little hearts, and I can draw flowers, big and little, and all different shapes and sizes like this. And I can just keep turning my paper around and drawing my designs. Put another heart there. And a flower here. And I can just keep drawing those designs around and around and turning my paper. Don't forget to turn your paper as you go, because the good part about these designs is it should be something you could look at. It wouldn't matter if I hung it this way, or this way, or this way, or this way. I should be able to hang it in any direction, and it will look good from any of the 4 directions the way you hang it. That is the trick to this kind of drawing, making it look good from all different sides. Okay, I hope you enjoy making your Amate drawing. And by the way, if you really mess up and feel like it didn't go well, this paper is just a brown paper bag that I have cut up. Or if you want to make a second one and you have a brown paper bag at home, you could go right ahead and cut up your own bag and make another one. So here are the steps once again. Use a black marker to draw a round sun or flower in the center of your brown paper. Then use the black marker to draw many patterns of animals, fish, plants, hearts, all around the center of your drawing. Turn your paper as you work. Now put a fence around everything near the edges of the paper. Make your fence thick and wavy. Color in your drawing using the oil pastels, and if you want to, color in your background white. If you're really happy with your drawing, I would love to see it, and I will make a comment back to you. Here's my email address. Ms. Mary's email address, mernst@ausdk12.org. Okay, I hope you have fun making your Amate drawings. Take care. Bye-bye.